Check, check. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, welcome to Toronto Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube. Thomas West alongside Zach Benoit. Julian Valdez on the mound for the Toronto Maple Leafs as they take on the London Majors. Julian Valdez getting his first start since very early in the IBL season. Valdez's 0-1 pitch. That one's in there for a strike.
And the last time Valdez actually went longer than just one inning, he went 4 1/3 on June 22nd. That was against the Barrie Baycats. He did take the loss in that decision, but moved to the bullpen role after that, and he had some solid relief roles dating from July 10th all the way to July 30th.
This one's hit in the air and pretty deep, and the catch is made right in front of the wall. And that's a loud out number 1 for the London Majors.
And that was Austin Wilkins. He had that big fly earlier on in the week, grand slam.
So Shulafan stepping in here for the London Majors and takes a strike, 1-1.
Appeared in 4 games so far, 15 at-bats, has 6 hits, 1 home run, 3 RBIs. And with the minimal at-bats that he's had so far, obviously leading the team right now in average at 400.
Pitch in the dirt from Julian Valdez. So the Toronto Maple Leafs are trying to end a 2-game losing streak. One of them against the Barrie Baycats here at home, and then again on a Wednesday night against the London Majors. Or in London, I should say. London ended up winning that game 16-7. That was the Maple Leafs' last game on Friday. Pitch is in the dirt from Valdez. Now it's 3-1. Maple Leafs lost a bit of a heartbreaker before that against the Barrie Baycats on Wednesday. That one was 12-10. Ended up coughing up a lead late in the game. 3-1 to Shulafan. Up high, and that's ball 4. So Valdez concedes a 1-out walk. For the London Majors, things have been looking up at the bottom of the standings in second last place, trying to chase down a Guelph Royals team that added a lot at the trade deadline, and they've been rolling of late. But the London Majors on a 2-game win streak. The only team that's rolling more than they have in terms of the win streak right now is the Barrie Baycats. They've won 5 in a row.
And London, really, what's been the struggle for them this year has been playing away. They have the second worst record right now in a way this year, 3-12. So it's been a little bit of a struggle for the London Majors playing away from home.
Julian Valdez comes into this start with an ERA of 8.42, but he's been better as the season has gone on. Throw down to second base is in time. They got him. How about Justin Mara throwing out base runners this season?
And once again, it's the Mara connection. Justin throwing it down to brother Dan, and another bang play. And the throw from the knees, that's something we've been so used to seeing from Justin Mara, and he did it once again right there.
Starlin Joseph comes to the plate. He had a heck of a game against the Toronto Maple Leafs last time he played them. Joseph in that 16-7 win was 4 for 5. And he takes a pitch in the dirt. A lot of runs in that game for the London Majors, and a lot of them coming via the home run. Austin Wilkie, Eduardo Duolio, Cleveland Brownlee, and Robert Mackey got his first home run of the year, and he hit it off of Dustin Richardson. Pitches way inside, pushes Starlin Joseph off the plate.
And this London Majors team, they're still a very good squad. You know, the year at the start was a little bit rough. They couldn't get the ball rolling. But they still have that power. They still have those big hitters in the lineup. And, you know, if all 8 teams make the playoffs, it's, you know, anyone's game.
3-1. And it's a broken bat, soft flare into left field. It's down for a base hit. Fielded on a hop out there by Ryan Dos Santos. So that's a broken bat single, but he seemed like he still got a lot of wood on it. So Eduardo Duolio will come to the plate, and boy, has he ever been rolling of late. Now has 12 home runs, right up there with the IBL leaders, and a lot of those home runs came all in one game. Eduardo Duolio with a 4 home run game last week and pushed himself quickly into the IBL leaders in home runs.
Yeah, when you have a day like that, you know, it'll shoot you up that list. Currently tied with teammate Starlin Joseph for the RBI lead. Both have 37.
One-0. Duolio takes just outside. It's 1-1. Duolio comes into this game with a 5-game hitting streak and 6 home runs over that 5-game streak. Here's the 1-1. Just got on top of it and fouled it over to the left.
And Julian Valdez on the mound. Like I was saying, he had that really good stretch of relief appearances in July. He actually had his ERA at 9 on July 10th and was able to drop it to 7.57. That was on July 30th.
One, two. Over the head of Duolio. It's 2-2. The big thing for Eduardo Duolio about the 12 home runs he's hit this year, he's done it in just 24 games. Wow. This was at bat number 101 on him for the season. 2-2. It's lined over the glove of Jose Vanicio, who was a couple feet from coming down with that one. And it's 2 consecutive hits here, both to left field by the London Majors as they threaten here with 2 outs in the first.
And again, it's good at-bats and good approaches by the London Majors first. Starlin Joseph was able to poke in the left, and the same thing right there with Eduardo Duolio. And, you know, these are the 2 probably best hitters we see on the London Majors squad. Like, again, they're leading their team in RBIs, 37 apiece.
I should make a correction there. It's actually 13 home runs for Eduardo Duolio. Duolio hit a home run last game against the Brantford Red Sox. That was a 13-4 win for the London Majors. He also hit one against the Toronto Maple Leafs in that 16-7 win. One-0. Tommy Reyes-Cruz pops this one back foul. The interesting thing about Tommy Reyes-Cruz is that a lot of people in the Intercounty Baseball League learned that he is a pitcher as well. He ended up pitching 3 1/3 innings to shut down the Toronto Maple Leafs. They did get a little bit of action against him on the mound, but he's a guy who has done a little bit of pitching. There is a pitching record on the baseball reference card, for Tommy Reyes-Cruz.
That, you know, the ability to hit and pitch, the dual player, dual threat.
But going 3 1/3 to eat the rest of the game, the London Majors, as this one's hit on the ground, this should end the inning. Dan Mara flips over to first just to finish that point. Tommy Reyes-Cruz, 3 1/3 innings was massive for the London Majors because they have 3 games in 3 days, so they got to save some pitchers. We'll have to unload the bullpen here against the Toronto Maple Leafs, except for a start from Tyler Janice, who's trying to go deep. Janice steps on the mound for the London Majors. In the bottom of the first inning, he'll face Jose Vanicio. Skylar Janice is pitching on this mound for the first time since June 2nd in a game where he pitched just 1 1/3 innings and gave up a run on 4 hits. Skylar Janice had a streak of 2 scoreless outings going and then gave up a bunch of runs in part of London's 18-6 win, or a bunch of hits I should say, against London's 18-6 win against Kitchener. Finds the strike zone again. So a little bit inconsistent, but in the long run has been effective for the London Majors this season. Skylar Janice comes into this start with an ERA of 6.65 in 14 games. 1-1. This one's a high chopper. This is going to be a tough play, and there'll be no play as it's up the middle. Jose Vanicio is on with a single and takes an aggressive turn around first base.
And that's what we're so prone to seeing with Jose Vanicio. He does such a good job in that leadoff spot to get on base. Doesn't matter what the count is. such a good leadoff batter, and then we know what he can do on the base paths. But again, looking at Skylar Janice, he's had a couple good outings. The last, I want to say, 4 or 5, dating all the way back to July 21st against Barrie. In this span there, he's pitched in, I believe, 5 games, and he's only given up 3 runs, and 2 of them coming in the last game against Kitchener in the 18-6 win.
Throwing out to second base, it's a good one, but it bounces into center field. Jose Vinicio is racing for third base. This is going to be a close play, and he's safe. Oh, he's so fast going down there to third base. Jose Vinicio. That ball didn't even get away enough for the center fielder to make the play, and Jose Vinicio still swipes the extra bag.
And that's just Jose Vinicio in a nutshell, really. He uses the speed, demonstrates it, and then the ball gets away not that far from any of the fielders, and he decides, I'm going to take third base, and just takes off.
When I initially saw that happen, I thought he was going to be out at third base, but Jose Vinicio, his speed just kind of beat the ball there and everything. And the throw is a little bit offline as well.
And how much one pitch difference can make. Now the Leafs have a runner on third after the leadoff single.
How much of a difference speed on the base paths can make.
Justin Mara's probably up there right now thinking, hey, now I just got to get a ball to the outfield.
Looking for a sac fly, or if he puts something up the middle or even to the right side, that'll probably score Jose Vinicio. Justin Mara loves to pull the ball. 1-2. And this time he goes the other way. Is it deep enough to score the runner? Catch is made, and there'll be no throw to the plate. Jose Vinicio slides in head first. Man, that was interesting not to see a throw come in from Jordan Schufland out there in the outfield. That was not a deep fly ball.
It looks like he was just kind of conceding it a little bit, respecting the speed of Jose Vinicio. And again, if that throw did come in, Vinicio, he was getting down that line pretty quick, so it would have been a close play.
I think the teammates of Jordan Schulafin might have just looked out there and said, hey, why didn't you throw that ball to the plate? He kind of looked back at the third baseman, Dan Battelle, and kind of shrugged his arms. He came in about 6 or 7 steps for that baseball after catching it. Maybe just knowing the speed of Jose Vinicio, but Vinicio thought there would be a play at the plate. He dove in head first.
I just think Vinicio likes us to slide head first.
Yeah.
Get the jersey dirty.
It's a sign of pride if you come back with a dirty jersey after the first inning.
As a kid growing up playing baseball, that was always the fun part, going home with the dirty jersey.
Yeah,
getting mom to do the laundry.
Yeah, and who washed your jersey, yeah. So 1-0 Toronto Maple Leafs. Jordan Castaldo at the plate with nobody on. 1-1, outside. Jordan Castaldo's been rolling lately as he takes inside. It's 3-1. 5-game hitting streak. He had 2 hits against the London Majors in the Maple Leafs last game. Then against the Barrie Baycats, he was 3 for 3 with 3 RBIs and a walk. In danger of conceding a walk here is Skylar Janice. And it's outside, ball 4. So Jordan Castaldo will head down to first base. Skylar Janice has struck out significantly more batters than he's walked. He struck out 25, walked 14, and 23 innings pitched this year. The knock on Skylar Janice this year has been that he's got hit around a little bit. 32 hits and 23 innings pitched.
And that walk right there by Janice to Jordan Castaldo will add on number 15 of a 15-game on-base streak. And that dates back all the way, I believe, to June 28th against the Barrie Baycats.
Yeah. And remember when we were talking about the slump that he was in Well, we just weren't looking at the on-base percentage. It was still there the whole time.
Yeah.
2-0. Salazzo takes a strike.
The on-base percentage before the start of this game is sitting at .459.
Salazzo had a big cut and fouled it off his leg.
In that 15-game on-base streak that Castaldo has, he's currently riding a 5-game hit streak.
The offense has been going well for the Toronto Maple Leafs lately. They hit a bit of a slump in mid-season where guys like Jordan Castaldo and Garrett Takamatsu and this guy John Salazzo weren't hitting as much, but they seem to be finding their form once again, and the Maple Leafs love to peak at the right time. And if you look back to the last 2 years where the Toronto Maple Leafs have played this very team in the IBL Finals, they've nearly finished fourth both of those times. Last year they finished in fourth place, we're just a little bit above 500. As here's the 3-2 to John Salazzo, and he crushes it, but well foul down the right field line. That one had little league diamond distance, but was well foul.
And we've already seen him do that once this year. You can see the wind blowing those flags. I believe it's just pushing out towards center field, right field. And before the game today, we were actually discussing that John Salazzo home run, and we've come to a final conclusion. It's sat around 430, 440 range, I believe was the final conclusion we hit.
Yeah, we measured it on Google Maps.
Shout out Google Maps.
Yeah, the directions. It said it was a 3-minute walk. Salazzo takes low, and he'll head down to first base. Garrett Takamatsu has a couple runners on. Just to finish that point from earlier, the Toronto Maple Leafs in 2021, when they went to the IBL Finals for the first time out of the last 2 years against the London Majors, they finished in second place, but they were only 1 game out of fourth. So things were very close once again. The Maple Leafs, where are they sitting right now? Fourth place in the IBL standings. And there's some interesting things that could go down later in the season as well. The Guelph Royals are well below the Toronto Maple Leafs right now, but they look like they're going to win more than they're going to lose for the rest of the season. The Maple Leafs have been playing .500 baseball of late, so they're going to have to fend off not only the Hamilton Cardinals, but also the Guelph Royals. And if you want to start looking at what would happen if 2 teams were tied in the Intercounty Baseball League at the end of the season, the tiebreaker rules are first head-to-head matchups. And the head-to-head matchup against the Hamilton Cardinals for the Maple Leafs is pretty good. They've won 3 times and lost 2, but remember there's still many games to be played, and the Maple Leafs will be playing most of their games on the road in August. Against the Guelph Royals, though, they won their first 2 games of the season against them, but they've lost the second 2, and this was before the Guelph Royals made all their trade deadline acquisitions, so they might be in a bit of trouble against the Guelph Royals when it comes to the tiebreaker, if it were to come down to that. The last 2 games of the season for the Toronto Maple Leafs are against the Guelph Royals. That could definitely be
That's going to be a lot of fun. Going to be a lot of fun when that stretch comes through. And you said it, the last half of this season, a lot of games are going to be on the road for the Maple Leafs. And their away record right now, 5-10 on the year. And that's really what's been killing them so far, is just that away record.
Garrett Takamatsu in a 2-1 count. And he takes a strike. Takamatsu comes into this game hitting .343 with 3 homers and 16 RBIs. Takamatsu chops one foul.
This is crazy.
2-2. Takamatsu broken back, ground ball to first base. Throw to second for one, back to first, not in time. But a good pick in the dirt by Skylar Janice, who was coming over to cover first base.
Good pick in the dirt, and then good hustle down the line right there by Takamatsu to break up that double play and give a chance here for Dan Mara, the singles machine, to try to cash in that run on third.
Dan Mara takes the first pitch low. Ball one. Dan Mara is hitting .340 on the year. Not a bad guy to come up with a runner on third base. That's Jordan Castaldo. Takamatsu, after hitting into the fielder's choice, is on first. 1-1. It's low and in. Good eye there by Dan Mara. Skylar Janice has had a heavy workload in this first inning. This will be pitch number 30 to Dan Mara. 2-1. Mara hits one in the air. This one's pretty deep to left field. Is it going to hang up? It is, but it's off the wall. One run comes in to score. Takamatsu to third, and it's an RBI double for Dan Mara.
And you see those flags in center field waving violently, and that's what just happened out there in left. That it got up into that wind stream, and you can see the left fielder. He tracked it down to the warning track, but it kept carrying towards center, and it was out of his range, and that's runs for the Leafs.
That ball looked like it was getting knocked down a little bit by the wind. I don't think the wind was helping that ball get out to left field. That was going to be a really tough play out there for Schulafand. Carrington lines one to first base, and it's snared by McGee. So the Maple Leafs get two after they get a couple hits against Skylar Janice. They lead 2-0 as we head to the second. There and some fans dotted on the hillside at Dominico Field. Cleveland Brownlee stepping to the plate. He's up against Julian Jr. Valdez. Cleveland Brownlee hitting 195 this season, but the power's still there. The Maple Leafs saw that last game. They played London, hit a home run. Brownlee swings and misses. Julian Valdez goes with the off-speed pitch, and that might be the bread and butter, the low off-speed pitch against Brownlee. He loves to hit the fastball.
Yeah, and Brownlee has had a very decorated IBL career dating all the way back to the summer of 2010.
Even before that.
134 home runs is what is recorded.
That's another one.
And
high and deep to left, and it's way out of here. Cleveland Brownlee hits the home run, and that's his second in 3 games, and it's 2-1.
I'm a little speechless. That was too perfectly on cue right there by Brownlee. I mean, wow! That ball cleared the trees by a healthy distance.
Yeah, it was way up in the air. That was a towering home run. Cleveland Brownlee, the bat is starting to come around. 2 home runs in his last 3 games, 3 home runs in his last 5 games, and the London Majors dugout loves seeing Cleveland Brownlee home runs. So it's 2-1. McGee steps to the plate. Kane McGee playing first base and fouls it straight back. So here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Sharp breaking ball there from Valdez. McGee has a home run in his 68 at-bats this season. 9 RBIs, hitting .323. Good production out of the first base position. 0-2, way outside. Valdez looked like he might have lost the handle on that baseball just a little bit. Seemed frustrated after coming off the mound. That was a fastball. He got McGee to swing over the top of his breaking ball last time. Does he go back to it? 1-2. He does, and he got him. Strike 3. Julian Valdez has the breaking ball working here early on as McGee goes down swinging.
And that's key right there by Valdez. Use that breaking ball. We know his fastball has plus stuff. It has a lot of life on it. But if he can get that breaking ball over the plate and breaking like it just did right there, it'll be a good day on the mound for him.
So 2 strikeouts for Julian Jr. Valdez. They'll face the number 8 hitter, Brett Graham. One. High chopper. Valdez going after it. He fields it. He backhand flips to first as Garrett Takamatsu on the bag. And that's the second out.
Do it all yourself, Valdez gets the strikeout, and nice little flip right there, running away. Kind of reminds me of that Derek Jeter flip to home plate.
Yeah, so that reminded me of something as well. That's a good one as well. I was thinking of Patrick Mahomes' little flip into the end zone. That was what that looked like to me.
Football season's right around the corner.
Yeah. Except he kind of played the role of wide receiver on that play as well, and the high chopper up over his head. So some athleticism on the mound. 2 outs. This one's hit to left. Not particularly deep. Ryan Dos Santos is there. He makes the catch. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Julian Jr. Valdez as he retires at the bottom of the order. 2-1 Toronto Maple Leafs. Welcome back to Dominico Field. Thomas West alongside Zach Benoit. Maple Leafs lead 2-1 over the London Majors. Bottom of the second inning, Ryan Dos Santos is going to lead things off, the left fielder this afternoon for Toronto. Wind blowing out to center field at times and right field at others. Dos Santos takes a strike. It was cloudy and extremely windy at the beginning of this game, but things have seemed to calm down as the sun is coming out here at Dominico Field. Dos Santos takes low and away.
Just another beautiful day here in Toronto, Ontario.
Yeah, I mean, this one's lined and into the outfield. Ryan Dos Santos stays hot. He has himself a leadoff single. Ryan Dos Santos has been stealing a lot of bases lately as well. He'll be a threat over there at first base. We've already seen Jose Vinicio take second base and third base on a bad throw. Although Eduardo D'Olio is historically a pretty good defensive catcher. It's not all of that, just the bat. Skylar Janice hasn't gone very deep into ball games often. Here's a bunt towards the first baseline, but it's foul.
And a good try right there with the speed of Connor Lewis. You have two guys that can really take off here on a wild throw. We know that Dos Santos can go from first to third, and Lewis has that speed to go from home to second.
Skylar Janisos looked back Ryan Dos Santos there at first base. Not sure he has a great read on the delivery to the plate by Skylar Janice. And there you go. Thinking about, you can tell he's wanting to go. He was leaning just a little bit, then Janice stepped off. That sign likely coming from his catcher, Eduardo D'Olio, to step off and keep an eye on the big lead that Ryan Dos Santos has at first base.
And this is a scary part of the order. You have three guys with plus speed, and Dos Santos, Lewis, and then Vinicio.
Ryan Dos Santos just did a little fake jump, and you could see his reaction was right on over there at first base. We'll see if he goes this time. 0-2, it might not even be the worst idea to go for a pitch out here with the arm of Eduardo D'Olio. Let's see. 0-2, just outside. Dos Santos holds his ground at first base.
And a good move on the mound right there by Janice. The slide step. Get that ball home to home fast.
So a 2-strike count. Janice, the slide step. And the pitch is hit to center field pretty well, but it's going to just hang up out there for Austin Wilkie, who makes the catch and fires it back into the infield quickly. Good contact, but maybe just a bit out in front from Connor Lewis. Back to the top of the order. Jose Vinicio, Justin Mara, and Jordan Castaldo if it gets that far. Jose Vinicio is 1 for 1. He singled in his first at-bat, then stole second and took third base on a scoring end error. Just after that, he would come home on a Justin Mara sacrifice fly. That was the first run of the ball game for the Maple Leafs. That pitch is over the outside corner. Jose Vinicio has a long look at it. Dos Santos still lingering over there at first base. Here's the 0-1. And it's a breaking ball over the outside corner. It's 0-2. Jose Vinicio didn't like either call, so now he'll step out and adjust the batting gloves. Oh, 2. And that one is just outside. Skylar Janice tried to pick that outside corner for the third time in a row.
And this is where Jose Vinicio gets so dangerous. Does such a good job in 2 strike counts.
And he hits one in the air. This one's a little blooper towards left field, and it's out of the reach of the shortstop. Throw comes into second, and it gets away, but not far enough. Jose Vinicio placed that one perfectly. Tommy Reyes Cruz might have got a glove on it, but it was going to have to be a heck of a basket catch to make that play. There's not a lot of shortstops that would be able to catch that baseball. That's a fortunate piece of hitting there for the Maple Leafs as they have 2 on, and it's the slugger, Justin Mara.
And again, Jose Vinicio does so much damage with 2 strike counts. And he proves it right there again. And if you can see at the bottom of the screen right there, Davis Schneider of the Blue Jays just hit a 2-run shot.
Oh my, are you kidding me?
They're up 6-0 right now on the Red Sox.
Justin Mara takes low 1-1. That is shocking. He has been so good.
Do you want to know what he's gone so far?
What?
7 for 10 in his big league in the first
To start his big
2
league
game
career.
Yeah.
I didn't even know who this guy was.
The stash man.
But do you remember seeing like a Davis Schneider in a spring training game or anything like that?
Never. He was the guy that would practice on the backfields and be in the minor league camp. But this is a fantastic story for the Jays right there.
Yeah. Gus Cousins seems to think that he has seen him at a spring training game. I watch a lot of spring training baseball. I haven't seen him. So I mean, he's obviously been around, but the point is he's come out of nowhere.
It's a bright spot right
Yeah,
there.
and when you say the name Gus Cousins, graphics will appear on the screen.
Oh, yeah.
You already know.
100%. We'll see Davis Schneider's
Oh, it was already
slashing
there.
line.
Yeah. How's he doing in AAA, Gus?
What were his stats out there with the Vancouver Canadians?
Yeah.
Rookie ball down there in Dunedin, Florida.
275 in AAA. Yeah, I saw that.
That doesn't surprise me.
2-2. Inside ball 4. Janice gets a couple close pitches in the at-bat against Vinicio. It doesn't go for him this time, and the bases are loaded. And here's Jordan Castaldo. Well, the Maple Leafs have seen Jordan Castaldo's batting average numbers rise and rise over the last couple weeks. And he has a lot of RBIs on the base path. As he usually does, takes the first pitch and it's a strike. Oh, 1. Castaldo takes low and outside. It's 1-1. And a guy in Skylar Janice who hasn't got much farther than 3 innings in any game this season. He's had to throw a lot of pitches, and he's only threw an inning and a third so far. Castaldo swings and misses. So that's pitch number 54 for Skylar Janice. And it's just the second inning. Castaldo behind in the count 1-2. Castaldo hits one in the air. This one's to left field, and it's down for a base hit. It rolls all the way to the wall. 2 runs are going to come in to score. Jordan Castaldo cruises into second base with an RBI double.
And not only is that 2 more RBIs right there for Jordan Castaldo, but that's now a 6-game hit streak that he is on.
Jordan Castaldo has been hot of late. And a 6-game hit streak. And he didn't have an RBI against London, but if you take that game away, he's had an multiple RBIs in all 6 of those games as well. John Salazzo at the plate, and he hammers it. Is it going to stay fair? It's down the right field line, and it is foul. Had just barely home run distance, but it was about 20 feet foul.
And he's playing into that wind right now. With Salazzo's power, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw another one hit that diamond behind on the field.
Yeah, this is a good matchup for John Salazzo here. Skylar Janice, who throws quite a few strikes, facing John Salazzo, righty v lefty in favor of the hitter. I think John Salazzo hits a home run right here. That's my prediction. 1-1. And he swings and misses. I'll turn the earpiece off to John Salazzo now. Sorry about that, John. Got in his head.
Hey, so remember we were talking about Mr. Gus Cousins and how quiet he gets?
Yeah, I remember.
Hey, Davis Schneider hit 230 in Vancouver.
That's not very good. Salazzo swings and misses. Strike 3. He had a couple swings for the fences, big cuts, but Skylar Janice got him with a down and in breaking ball both times. That was a horrible prediction, I guess. So why is he hitting 700 in the big leagues right now? They hit over the monster too?
Cleared the monster.
Holy cow. This one's hit to left, and it's foul. The Maple Leafs bullpen called it fair, but it was about 10 feet foul.
And that's why they're not umpires.
No, that's why, yeah. That one's inside. Did it hit Garrett Takamatsu? Yes, it did. He's going to head down to first base. And the bases are loaded again. And it's Dan Mara who's going to come to the plate. And he just missed a home run in his last at-bat. Dan Mara, I don't think he ever goes out trying to hit home runs, but he almost just ran into one with a good swing in his last at-bat. Loves to go the other way. Pulled it to left last time. Righty v righty. As this one's low and in the dirt. Dan Mara hit a home run just 2 games ago against the Kitchener Panthers in the Maple Leafs 14-4 win. That one's over the outside corner for a strike.
Last time up, Dan Mara hit that RBI double and that blooper over the shortstop's head.
1-1. Down the middle, strike 2. Sam Green is starting to walk around a little bit in the Toronto Maple Leafs bullpen. 1-2. And it's in the dirt. Good block by DeOlio. That saves a run. Justin Mara has to stay at third base. Has pretty good speed at third. We'll see how long Julian Jr. Valdez can go into this game. He's a guy who hasn't been stretched out in recent days. Two. And it's poked foul. What a job to stay alive there by Dan Mara.
Yeah, again, you said it. Good job to stay alive. A hard pitch on the outside. Just fouls it off down that first base line. You have another life right here. Try to cash in more runs.
Big 2-2 pitch coming here from Skylar Janice. Bases loaded, 2 out, bottom of the second. Can the Maple Leafs add on? It's 4-1. Mara hits one on the ground. Tommy Reyes-Cruz gets a big hop and flips to second base to get the out. So the Toronto Maple Leafs leave the bases loaded, but they add on a couple runs. It's 4-1 Toronto. So Julian Jr. Valdez back on the mound. Line drive and a diving stop by Jose Venicio. What a catch. Venicio flashes the leather at short.
There's 3 guarantees in life. Death, taxes, and Jose Venicio making diving catches at shortstop.
Yeah, making the IBL play of the week about a month ago, I guess it was now.
Pinch hitter, Walker, Schulefan's injury.
So this is something that we were speculating early off air. So Schulafand is out of the game. There's going to be a pinch hitter. It's going to be Judd Walker. And when Schulafand didn't throw that ball from the outfield, we were thinking maybe it was an injury. And I think that's what it was. We're just speculating at this point, but it's awful early to be having a pinch hitter, and we've seen a few signs out there from Schulafand that there might be something going on.
Yeah, and obviously we hope he's okay. You know, never want to see injuries happen. But, yeah, we were both kind of confused when we didn't see him just kind of throw that ball back into the infield with the information of knowing that he is a pitcher. He has a good arm.
Yeah.
That was the kind of surprising thing from the both of us. So hopefully Schulafand is okay and there's nothing serious.
I wonder if Jose Venicio knew that at the time when he came home, because that was an awfully risky ball to come home on. Either way, it produced a run for the Maple Leafs. 1-2, and it's fouled off. Judd Walker out of Mitchell, Ontario. 2004 born player. I assume that he'll come in to play left field. He is an outfielder for the London Majors. Judd Walker has come in as a pinch hitter or a pinch runner often for the London Majors. He's going to get multiple at-bats now in this game. He hasn't had multiple official at-bats in a game since June 10th, where he had 3 against Guelph. Walker's hitting 188 this season.
This score is 4-1.
4-1. Oh. I thought it was somebody scored while I was away in London.
Here's the 2-1. And it's up and away. Judd Walker is playing in his first year in the Inter-County Baseball League. He's appeared in 17 games, but just the 16 at-bats. Here's the 2-2. And he swings and misses at the high heat. 2 away.
Nice pitch right there by Valdez at high heat. Again, we know he has that plus fastball. More so, we just need to see him keep controlling that breaking ball. If he can get both those pitches rolling, we've seen it before. He can go deep into ball games.
So 2 outs, here's Starlin Joseph. He has a lot of home run potential. Wouldn't be surprised to see him put a big swing on a ball with 2 outs and nobody on. Pitch is inside and it hit him off the front leg of Starlin Joseph. So he'll head down to first base. Eduardo DeOlio was 1 for 1. He had a broken bat single to left field in his last at bat. Two outs. Julian Junior Valdez trying to end the inning right here. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Valdez. Runner goes. It's hit a high chopper. Venicio picks it at short and throws to first to get the out. Oh, he makes it look easy. A nice pick to end the inning, and he had an even better diving catch to get the first out of the inning. Jose Venicio and the Toronto Maple Leafs are coming up to bat when we come back. 3-1 Maple Leafs. They've scored runs in each of their first 2 innings at the plate. Greg Carrington hit a sharp line drive to McGee at first base in his first at-bat. That was caught. 0-1 is low. It's 1-1. Ryan Dos Santos singled in his last at-bat on a sharp line drive to right center. 1-1. In the dirt, it's 2-1. Greg Carrington's hitting .265 with a couple homers and 17 RBIs this year. He swings and misses and swung so hard the elbow guard popped off at home plate. You think he was trying to get one up into the jet stream here at Dominico Field? 2-2 is in there. Strike 3 called over the outside corner. Greg Carrington didn't like it, but it'll bring Ryan Dos Santos to the plate with 1 out.
I was going to say before that pitch happened, when you're taking a big hack like that, the arms flex up and the elbow pad goes flying.
Dos Santos takes first pitch low, ball 1.
Last time up, singled up the middle and later on scored the first run of the ball game for the Maple Leafs.
Skylar Janice has thrown 73 pitches, 1 out into the 3rd inning. That one's just outside. It's 3-0 to Ryan Dos Santos. Santos has that batting average back up over 300. It's at 304. And that one is a strike over the outside corner. Dos Santos was taking all the way. Janice's pitch. That one's hit a high chopper towards first base, and that one bounces through. It was going to be a tough play anyway for Graham at second base with the speed of Jose Vinicio, and it bounced well out of his range despite diving effort.
And second hit of the day right there for Dos Santos.
Connor Lewis tried to bunt Ryan Dos Santos along on the first pitch of his last at-bat. We'll see if he has something similar in mind with the great bat of Jose Vinicio on deck. This one's popped towards foul territory, and it's gonna hook at a play, and the catch is made by Bobby out there. What is he doing out there in right field? That's not his territory.
I know. I looked over there and I was kind of surprised. I was like, is that a Bobby impersonator?
Yeah, you're probably looking right now and saying, oh, that guy looks a lot like Bobby. But it can't be him in right field. But it is.
He's just everywhere. He makes his rounds. Look at that, getting the love on the hill. Not even from the Bushmen, from the fans on the right field side.
That pitch is outside. He's making new friends.
Maybe that's why he's over there. Trying to garner up that Instagram following.
Here's the 1-1. It's hit on the ground towards third, but foul. Pretty close, but about 5 feet foul. Lewis trying to keep the line going. He fouls it straight back. He had a good cut at that one. Lewis is behind 1-2. Dos Santos a big lead off of first base. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Dos Santos goes, and it's hit in the air. In the outfield, the catch is made. Dos Santos has to get back, and he'll scamper back to first base in time. He had a great jump, but Connor Lewis, being behind in the count 1-2, had to swing at the high fastball.
Yeah, if he didn't swing, that was an easy stolen base right there for number 3.
Jose Vinicio changed his walk-up song today, and I think it's called Booling.
I don't know, but it's great.
It's from TikTok. I don't know if you guys have seen that app. It's grown over the years. See a lot of people using it.
So a little bit distracted by the walk-up music there. Apparently there should have been a balk call, but there wasn't a balk call. Jose Vinicio looked very vocal about it.
I was trying to untangle myself from my wires as this one's thrown down to second base, and a slide is in there safely.
And there's that stolen base.
He had a lot of pitches to look at Skylar Janice and time him up, and I thought he had better jumps on the ones where he was timing him up, but that time he just says, I'll just use pure speed and get myself down to second base. So he does get himself into scoring position for Vinicio, and the pitch is hit in the air. This one's high and deep to center field, and it's gone! Jose Vinicio, a 2-run homer, and it's 6-1.
And we usually see him use his speed, this time using the power. Jose Vinicio, the skinny pop, hits it to the deepest part of the park.
Jose Vinicio has 4 home runs on the season, and he has been hitting them lately. That's a career high for Jose Vinicio in home runs this year.
So that home run has the most runs that has been given up.
By Skylar Janice in a game, yeah. So Jose Vinicio's 3 for 3. Skylar Janice is deep into his pitch count here in the 3rd inning. There's no one warming up in the London Majors bullpen because they have the unfortunate circumstance where they've played 3 games in 3 days, and the Toronto Maple Leafs have played just 2 games in the last 3 days, and one of them was not yesterday. Skylar Janice is going to have to get through some more innings for the London Majors if they're going to be able to complete this ball game with the pitchers that they have available.
And just as you were saying that, it looks like somebody's going to start running out
Line
towards
drive.
the bullpen.
Base hit for Justin Mara.
Looks like the Maple Leafs have a new bat boy. Looks like Johannes Alvarado has taken over the duty as bat boy.
So the situation might be even more dire pitching-wise for the London Majors right now because Robert Mackey is warming up in the bullpen, and I'm checking the pitching logs as we speak. I don't remember seeing Robert Mackey having pitching experience. Either way, this was a big hitter in the lineup.
So he does have some pitching experience. 8 2/3 inning in 4 games. Last time he pitched was August 1st against Guelph. He went 4 innings, allowing 3 earned runs.
Okay, so Definitely some pitching experience. This one's hammered deep to center field, and it's gone! Dead center for Jordan Castaldo. A 2-run homer, and it's 8-1, and the Maple Leafs are starting to tee off here on Skylar Janice.
And red hot is an understatement for what Jordan Castaldo is right now. On this 15 game on base streak, he is hitting the ball so well. Another shot right there, opposite field.
Yeah, he stays hot, and John Salazzo comes to the plate. He's going to want in on this action. If I had to guess, this is Skylar Janice's inning to finish. Mackey just started warming up a couple minutes ago, so he won't be ready yet. John Salazzo, high and deep, and it is way out of here. John Salazzo gets in on the action, and it's back-to-back home runs for the Maple Leafs.
And it looks like John Salazzo put that earpiece back in from you, talking about the home runs, because right on cue, the conductor hits one to deep, and I mean deep right field.
The only thing stopping that from being 3 home runs in a row from the Maple Leafs was a sharp line drive single by Justin Mara. Takamatsu comes to the plate, and he crushes one high and deep to center field, and it's gone! 3 in a row! Garrett Takamatsu, a line shot to center field.
The Maple Leafs are rolling. 3 home runs in a row, and they've all been deep shots. Wow.
They have 4 home runs in the inning. 3 of them in a row, and now what can Dan Mara do at the plate? And he might not get a chance to face Skylar Janice. Yeah, Skylar Janice is going to come out of the game, but it might have been an inning too late. It's 10-1 Toronto Maple Leafs. We'll take a quick break. plate. The Maple Leafs have 4 home runs in their last 5 batters. Skylar Janice, I think, might have given in a little bit on the mound. He is, as this one's hit to center field pretty well, but it's going to hang up out there in center, and it only takes 3 pitches for Robert Mackey to get out of the inning, but the Maple Leafs put up a big number. Now it's 10-1, so we'll take a quick break. Tommy Reyes Cruz takes a first pitch low and away from Julian Junior Valdez. Julian has a pretty good cushion now to play with. The Maple Leafs put up 6 in the 3rd inning after putting up 2 in the 2nd and 2 in the 1st. That one swung on and missed by Tommy Reyes Cruz. It's 1-1. Maple Leafs have 11 hits in the first 3 innings. Julian Valdez gets ahead in the count of the shortstop, Tommy Reyes Cruz. The London Majors will need a lot of base runners here. They just have 3 hits against Valdez. 1-2, and he got him. Another breaking ball in the dirt. And that's another strikeout for Julian Valdez.
It's his 3rd of the day. Nice breaking ball right there, coming in at 72.
So that'll bring Cleveland Brownlee to the plate. The London Majors would have liked to have some runners on in this spot because Cleveland Brownlee hit a home run in his last at-bat. Hit it deep over the left field wall and the trees out there in left. Brownlee takes a first pitch fastball in there for a strike. One. And it's in the dirt outside.
changeup right there from Valdez.
Here's the 1-1. Fastball, and it's a one-hopper to short. Jose Vinicio fields it, lobs a long throw over there to first base. Jose Vinicio and Cleveland Brownlee seem to have an understanding that that was going to be an out, as Vinicio just kind of tossed it over. And you could see that he's kind of having a laugh about that at shortstop as well. So McGee playing first base this afternoon, stands in with 2 outs and nobody on. A pitch from Valdez, and it's inside. Julian Valdez is through 3 2/3 innings, and it's been going pretty well. He's allowed just the 3 hits and the 1 run. A solo shot to Cleveland Brownlee. But when you're playing against Cleveland Brownlee, that's going to happen from time to time. It's been known to hit a few out.
Yeah, Cleveland Brownlee has been one of the most dominant hitters probably in the IBL for his entire tenure.
That one's in the dirt, and I tried to overthrow the breaking ball a little bit.
A little fun tad bit right there. This includes the Maple Leafs and the Blue Jays. 21 runs scored.
Oh, by Toronto. I got it, yeah. Wow, yeah. It's 12-1 in the...
And, yep, 12-1 in the other game.
Or 11-1, 12-1?
One of the two. 12-1, 11-1. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going out there in Boston.
Is a strike. It's 11-1.
Okay.
Yeah. That's kind of a math problem. It's like, well, if there's 2 teams that have scored and one of them scored 10 and there's 21 total, how many
did the others score?
Pitch just misses outside. That's ball 4. 2-out walk. Julian Valdez had 4 consecutive outings a couple weeks ago where he didn't give up an earned run. And that was good because he was kind of struggling, giving up a lot of hits, walking a couple batters early in the season. And then he came back against Barrie and got roughed up a little bit. And now back on the mound and seems to have found his form. So those 4 scoreless outings I don't think were a fluke for Julian Valdez. He might really be finding his form, and if he is, that would be huge for the Toronto Maple Leafs this season, as he occupies one of their import spots and he has a good baseball resume coming to this Maple Leafs team. It might have just taken him a couple innings. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Brett Graham, the second baseman, is at the plate, but he's in a big hole here against Valdez. We know the London Majors have the ability to put up some offense. The Maple Leafs saw them score 16 times last time they played them.
And I think that's the thing about London. You can realistically never count them out.
How about Julian Jr. Valdez through 4 innings as he gets Brett Graham swinging? Just allowed the 1 earned run and 3 hits. Julian Valdez will keep on rolling to the 5th. To the bottom of the 4th we go. Maple Leafs 10. London Majors just the 1.
play.
Greg Carrington lines the ball into the outfield, and that's how this one gets started. Greg Carrington, a line drive. He's hit the ball to that side of the field hard twice today, but hasn't been rewarded for his efforts. Ryan Dos Santos comes to the plate, and he takes a first pitch for a strike. Dos Santos is 2 for 2, and he's scored both times he's been on first base.
Also recorded a steal his last time up.
Dos Santos hits one to the pitcher, and that'll be an easy play over there to first base. So yeah, give Ryan Dos Santos 10 stolen bases on the season. Connor Lewis comes to the plate with 2 outs, and the Maple Leafs in danger of this being the first inning that they don't score multiple runs. So that pitch is outside. Pitch to Lewis is way outside again. Robert Mackey hit a home run against the Toronto Maple Leafs. In fact, he hit it off of Dustin Richardson in the Leafs' last game. And now he's on the mound pitching against Toronto, usually playing infield for the London Majors. Robert Mackey has appeared in 9 games as a batter. This one's inside. In 4 games as a pitcher. And yeah, Robert Mackey actually does have some pretty big pitching experience. When he pitched, as this one's outside ball 4, Connor Lewis heads down to first base, brings up Jose Venicio, who started the home run train for the Maple Leafs. In 2021, Robert Mackey played for the Welland Jackfish, and that's where I'm remembering the name, because that was my first year in the Intercounty Baseball League as well. And he had an ERA of 0.87, and he pitched 10 innings. So Robert Mackey could actually be a key piece to the London Majors bullpen come playoff time.
Brings that dual threat, and that's pretty important, really, when you have a guy that can play good defense for you, but also give you some sound innings.
Yeah, there's another guy in the IBL that brings a dual threat that just got signed, and it's Claudio Custodio of the Guelph Royals. He's a guy who can hit the ball really well, but more importantly, he can pitch a lot of scoreless innings for the Guelph Royals. And the team that ends up in 3rd place, as it stands right now, would be the team that has to play the Guelph Royals, as that pitch is in there for a strike. That would be the Kitchener Panthers, as it stands right now. I'm not sure that's a great matchup for Kitchener. They require their offense to do well. They outslug teams night in and night out. With Claudio Custodio on the mound, that could be tough. Benicio fouls it straight back. Pitching is even more vital come playoff time. You can shorten your starting rotation. Pitch with just 2 or 3, most likely 3 pitchers.
When you look at it, really, even if whoever finishes second and the Baycats right now sitting there, face the London Majors, and that's not an easy task. London, like, they've struggled this year, but they're still a very, very good team.
What tipped you off? The 2 consecutive championships?
Yeah, something along those lines.
There's still quite a few players that were part of those 2 championship teams as well.
Again, really, the struggle for London this year, similar to the Maple Leafs, has just been playing away.
On the ground, diving stop, but it's going to score it away. That was very nearly a fantastic play by Dan Battelle, who's getting his first bit of action there at third base.
And I think that's going to go down as a base hit for Vinicio. But like you said, Dan Battelle able to knock that one down and probably saves an RBI with the speed of Connor Lewis there on the bases.
So Jose Vinicio is 4 for 4, and we're in the 4th inning.
Yeah.
This could get interesting.
Oh, very much so.
Jose Vinicio's batting average is up to 348. That's starting to get to be a pretty elite number for the Maple Leafs leadoff hitter. First and third, 2 outs. Strike taken by Dan Mara. Or Justin Mara. 10 homers on the year for Mara. Mackey's pitch. Low, 1-1.
And the OPS for Jose Vinicio slowly sneaking up there. Before the game today, it was sitting at 785.
Yeah, home runs will do that.
The slugging over 400, OBP over 350.
For a guy who's notorious for hitting singles and getting on with his speed.
Yeah.
You could almost call power as one of the tools that he has in the tool bank now. I mean, he's been getting the hips open and powering balls out of the ballpark. He had 2 home runs a couple games ago.
And I think if he develops that power, it just gets even more scary with the player that he is.
To the backstop, Connor Lewis is coming home, and he'll score without a throw. It's 11-1. Justin Mara heads down to first base with the walk. Well, Hennis Alvarado comes out of the dugout to retrieve the bat. He's been kind of the semi-bat boy today.
That's what I've been saying, We don't see the typical, there's usually like a younger child, that'll be the bat boy for the Maple Leafs, but I guess Will Hennis Alvarado has the duties of that today.
Instead, they took the guy who leads the Intercounty Baseball League in ERA this season.
Yeah,
and
he,
the bat boy.
I think my favorite part of we see it on the Vonacam. There is a play. I guess Will Hennis Alvarado just took the job from him.
I don't think so.
He has the helmet on.
I don't think Will Hennis Alvarado's got anything on him.
He has the seat up there.
The bat boys, they are experienced in bats. Will Hennis Alvarado, experienced in throwing baseballs.
We'll have to keep an eye on this rivalry, see who collects most bats by the end of the day.
So what I want to keep an eye on is how many hits Jose Vinicio gets today. Because we're in the 4th inning. He has 4. His career high in one game is 5. He had 5 hits.
I believe the all-time record is, for all baseball, is 7. And I know Brandon Crawford did that
Major
a couple
League
years.
Baseball, yeah. This pitch is inside. Oh, I need to go get out the Maple Leafs history book because I'm pretty sure that record is in there as well. I might have to get a raffle ticket. I forgot mine.
Maybe I'll let you read it.
Yeah. Can I read it first?
Can I read one page, please?
That pitch is inside. We actually have one raffle ticket to the raffle here in the broadcast booth. So I think this is Rob's raffle ticket. So maybe if you win it, could I please just read it for like 5 minutes?
That'll cost you.
Yeah. I'll buy you another raffle ticket. 3-2. Jordan Castaldo with a couple ducks on the pond. And And that was outside ball 4. He just missed, and the bases are loaded for John Salazu, who had one of the 3 home runs in a row last inning.
And the Maple Leafs just generating this offense all with 2 outs. You know, the inning started off pretty quickly. Greg Carrington line out to right. DeSantos ground out to the pitcher. But then Connor Lewis walks. Jose Vinicio gets that single. And then back-to-back walks. And that's where we're sitting right now with the bases loaded. And 2 dangerous hitters coming up to bat.
Yeah, we're going to likely see some position player pitching in this game, you'd have to think, with where we are in the 4th inning. Robert Mackey could change that narrative by getting into this inning right here with the bases loaded and 2 outs. So John Salazzo walks into the Orange Blossom Special. Howard a home run in his last at-bat. Does he have another one in him? But this was against a different pitcher. All 4 of those home runs last inning coming against Skylar Janice. Robert Mackey got out of it on 3 pitches. That one's outside. Ball 1. Garrett Takamatsu hit the 3rd of the 3 home runs last inning, and he did it with authority. That was a line drive that just got out in center field. Way inside. So we're getting word here that home run by John Salazzo, his 400th hit in his IBL career.
Congratulations right there, Mr. John Salazzo.
2-0. And he hits one to center field, and it's caught on the line. Soft line drive, good play out there at shortstop, and the inning will end. Robert Mackey gets himself into trouble, but gets out of it in the end. It's 11-1 for the Toronto Maple Leafs. One Maple Leafs. Great outing so far for Julian Junior Valdez.
Breaker ball. I'm a
Valdez has got himself through 4 innings, allowed 3 hits and 1 earned run, struck out 4 in the process. Top of the 5th, Dan Vattel at the plate. And he takes outside. It's 2-0.
Last time up, he flew out to left field. That was back in the 2nd inning. And like you said, Julian Junior Valdez has had a very good day so far on the mound. He made one mistake. That was the Cleveland Brownlee, and well, he paid for it with that home run.
This one's hit pretty well to left field, and it's out of the reach of J.J. Dutton, and it goes past him to the wall. It would have been a double anyway, and that's what it is for Dan Vattel. So J.J. Dutton is out there in left field now. Grant Tamane has taken the place of Greg Carrington in right. Ryan Dos Santos has shifted over to center field. Austin Wilkie, the leadoff hitter, is at the plate. He takes up and away. Wilkie is 0 for 2 this afternoon. Wilkie takes in the dirt.
You said it 0 for 2. Fly out to right field and a line out to the shortstop. It was the Jose Vinicio dive and catch back in the 3rd inning.
1-1. Swung over the top of it. It's 1-2.
And really, the only people that have been able to figure out Valdez today have been Starlin Joseph and Cleveland Brownlee. Everybody else really just hasn't been able to figure out the pitches.
Just tied, 2-2. Judd Walker is on deck. He came in the place of Schulafand. 2-2 from Valdez. And it's in the dirt. And it bounces in front of home plate. Justin Marr throws down to third, not in time. Perfect throw, but there just wasn't enough time to work with to get the runner Dan Vattel. Well, Starlin Joseph is going to come to the plate in this inning, and he may have some runners in scoring position unless Julian Valdez can make a pitch here against Austin Wilkie. Full count, runner on third, nobody out. Valdez a long wait. Now he delivers, and it's hit on the ground. Vinicio will scoop this one up. He whips a throw to first, and a run will come in to score. So it's 12-2 as the London Majors come a bit closer, but Julian Valdez will trade it out for a run any day of the week.
And really just a nice piece of hitting right there by Austin Wilkie. Just get the ball on the ground and score that run in from third.
Yeah, 11-2. Toronto Maple Leafs. Judd Walker at the plate. Walker getting his second at-bat of a game. First time getting a second at-bat of a game since early June. Struck out in his last at-bat and takes a strike. Julian Valdez ended up finishing him off on the high fastball last time he was at the plate. Walker swings and misses. Didn't have a great read on that pitch. It was down in the dirt.
And I think the key thing for Valdez today really has just been that off-speed pitch, mixing it in with that fastball. It's had the hitters off balance all day, and he's just done a masterful job controlling both.
0-2. Got him. High fastball again, outside corner, just overpowered Judd Walker, and there's 2 away.
And right there, with that second out, it is now officially Julian Jr. Valdez's longest outing, not only of the 2023 season, but of his IBL career.
It's a good sign. Maple Leafs will need him down the stretch. He's pitched beautifully this afternoon. Here's Starlin Joseph, who steps in. Nobody on, 2 out. Joseph, big swing and a foul at home plate. Julian Valdez has had a good breaking ball. Hasn't left it up once yet this afternoon. Everything has been just above the dirt to just below the strike zone with the breaking ball. It seems to be coming in the high 70s today. There's the breaking ball. I actually did leave that one up, but it was too high to have any damage. And then the fastball, am I seeing he's coming in around high 80s to 90?
Yeah, he's hitting around 87, 89. That's kind of where he's sitting right there with that fastball. And then, like that breaker, he had a couple, I believe it was a changeup, hitting around 79 or 78. But then that off speed of the slider going around 74.
74. There's an off speed in the dirt and it bounces up over the backstop off the front of home plate. So it's 2-1.
Yeah, as I've been saying all game long, he's had just a really good game in the sense of controlling both pitches and throwing both pitches for strikes. And that's just something we haven't been seeing out of Valdez all season long. And it's nice to see that he's hopefully turning that corner.
Again, our radar gun readings are not dead accurate, but they're close. Two one. Starlin Joseph takes outside, and wouldn't be surprised to see him get a fastball here with a 3-1 count against Valdez. All right, tell me about Davis Schneider.
So more news. He's 3 for 4 today. Home run, 4 RBIs, and the average is sitting at 636. The Jays are currently up 12-1.
It's pretty good.
That'll play.
Yeah.
That'll play.
Starlin Joseph in a hitter's count. Does he swing big here? 3-1. He does, but he hits a high chopper to third. This is a tough play for Salazzo. Julian Valdez came across, and that's a foul ball. Julian Valdez looked like he was cutting off John Salazzo from that ball, and I was thinking, what are you doing? There's no way he's going to have a play on it. But I think he was cutting him off to stop John Salazzo from trying to make a play on the baseball as it bounced foul. That was a heads-up play there by Valdez. There was a very low chance that either of them were going to get that throw down to first base.
Yeah, and a heads-up play right there, and you see on your screen Julian Timochko. He'll be warming up there in the Maple Leafs bullpen. But yeah, that's just a heads-up play right there by Valdez. John Salazzo head down. He's trying to make a nice play. Valdez reading it and understanding the situation. He just cuts him off and lets that ball roll foul.
Saves his whip a little bit if he can find the strike zone here. Will it pay off? 3-2 pitch here to Starlin Joseph. He's battled all the way back from 3-1. And it just misses low, so Starlin Joseph will reach first base.
Third time for the day. And Starlin Joseph has just looked really good at the plate. A single hit by pitch and now walking. And I'll bring up another dangerous hitter.
Eduardo Deolio, huge home run potential. With 2 outs here for the Majors, they have a runner on first. He takes a first pitch strike. Eduardo Deolio tied for first place in the home run race with 13. And he fouls it off his foot, and you could tell that didn't feel particularly good. Hobbling out of the batter's box. He had a huge cut and put it right off the top of his foot.
Yeah, those ones are never fun. You know, they sting a little bit more. There's always those little bones in there in that foot. Same thing with your hands. Just looks like he'll be okay.
And for his troubles, he's now behind in the count 0-2. If Julian Valdez gets him right here, he could go another inning. Pitch count at 78. Here comes number 79 to Eduardo Deolio. 0-2. He got him. Julian Jr. Valdez have a start. He's given up just 2 through 5 innings, and now that's 5 strikeouts. It's 11-2. Toronto Maple Leafs. Now 11-1 Toronto Maple Leafs. Robert Mackey back on the mound. Garrett Takamatsu is at the plate. Dan Mara is on deck. Takamatsu hit a rocket of a home run to center field last time up. 1-0. He fouls it off to the right. Garrett Takamatsu is 1 for 2 today. He was also hit by a pitch. One. That one's a check swing, but in the dirt and a ball. Julian Jr. Valdez is heading down to the Maple Leafs dugout, so that will signal a good day's work. 5 innings, just gave up the 2 runs. And the biggest thing for the Maple Leafs was the length that Julian Jr. Valdez gave the Maple Leafs today. There you can see him getting a high five there from Johannes Alvarado. The big thing is that pitching is going to be of the essence for the Toronto Maple Leafs down the stretch. 20 games, or 13 games in 20 days in August. And if they can start out their August by not having a pitcher-heavy day, that would be big. Here's a big swing, and it's deep to left field, and it bounces in front of the wall. Garrett Takamatsu cruises into second base with a double.
And Garrett Takamatsu just staying hot at the plate. Another big hit right there. He's reached twice, homered, like we said, in his last plate appearance. But if these bats can just stay hot for the Leafs and the pitching that they're getting, you know, if these two things can kind of click at the same time, we've seen this Leafs team go on a run.
Dan Mara comes to the plate. He's got a runner in scoring position. And Garrett Takamatsu. Grant Tamane is on deck. He's going to get his first at-bat. First pitch is a breaking ball from Robert Mackey, low and outside. Mackey's pitched an inning and a third so far and throwing 38 pitches. Mara takes outside again. It's 2-0.
Dan Mara doubled and got an RBI in his first plate appearance. Went down twice in a row. Fielder's choice to shortstop and then a fly out to center field.
2-1 is up high. And there's Keith Candell. He is more known for being a shortstop for the London Majors, but he's down there in the bullpen getting loose. Pitch way outside, ball 4. Maybe some fatigue starting to set in here for Robert Mackey. So Dan Mara heads down to first base. He's 13th in the Intercounty Baseball League in batting average. It's not a great season for Toronto, and that's going to do it for Robert Mackey, or I don't think the call has been officially made yet. Keith Candell is getting loose. This might just be to buy some time.
Buy some time, have a little conversation here, saying, hey, you got a batter, maybe 2. And right there on your screen, you see Julian Jr. Valdez. And we fully assume that he is out of the game just due to the fact that he was given the high fives and everything. But his longest outing in his IBL career, 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. Currently in line for the win.
So Grant Tamane stands in for his first at-bat, and he takes way outside. Grant Tamane injured early in the season. Finally back in the lineup for the Maple Leafs, joining in the second half. after this, the Toronto Maple Leafs only have 2 more home games until the playoffs come around. Well, 3 more, I guess, once you include the rainout game. That'll be on Tuesday next week against the Kitchener Panthers. Pitch is outside, and it's 2-0. The Maple Leafs went from being a team that had played the most games for much of the first 10 to 15 games of the season. Well, now they've played the least games out of any team in the Intercounty Baseball League. The only other team who's only played 32 games this year, the London Majors. 3-0 here on Grant Tamane, and that is a strike, 3-1. Robert Mackey walked Dan Mara, which prompted a mound visit. Keith Candell looks like he's ready to go. This might be the last batter here for Robert Mackey. The 3-1 to Grant Tamane, and it's in there for a strike, 3-2. Ryan Dos Santos awaits on deck. Full count. And it's over the inside corner, strike 3 called. So that's the first out of the inning. Robert Mackey may have just bought himself another batter.
And it looks like the pitching change will happen here. That was, in fact, Robert Mackey's last batter.
I dedicate that catch to you and the phone account.
Yeah, the London Majors have some work to do here, but if they can limit the damage in this inning, and yeah, that is officially going to be the call. So Mackey will exit. Keith Candell is going to come in and pitch. Bottom of the 5th. We'll take a quick break. So Keith Candell with limited pitching experience in the Intercounty Baseball League, but he's going to come into this game here in the 5th inning. Ryan Dos Santos is at the plate. First pitch is in there for a strike. Keith Candell has pitched in 1 game this season. He went 2 2/3, got a strikeout, but gave up 7 hits. So Candell, this time he drops to a little bit of a sidearm and delivers another strike. It's 0-2 on Ryan Dos Santos, who I think is just trying to get a look at this guy. He's only appeared on the mound 4 times in his IBL career that dates back to 2013. 0-2. And it's strike 3 called. Ryan Dos Santos goes down looking. That was a breaking ball there from Keith Candell, and it looked pretty good.
Changed up the arm angle a couple times, throwing the off speed.
Yeah, the radar gun is out whenever you see a position player pitching. So J.J. Dutton will get an at bat righty-righty, and he hits one on the ground. That one's a bounding ball that gets through the infield. The runner's coming home. Garrett Takamatsu puts on the brakes. He'll head back to third base, so J.J. Dutton keeps the line moving with a single.
And guess who gets to come up?
Uichi Ishihara.
Looks like Jose Vinicio is getting pinch hit for.
Ah, yeah, so no chance to
Close, so
get,
close.
get the
to-
career high in hits. You'd think he would have got it with 4 innings to go.
Probably.
But Ishihara is at the plate, and the umpire needed to, I think, get the official lineup change there from Rob Butler. So Ishihara with the bases loaded here for the Maple Leafs. Candell got a strikeout, and the first batter he faced. Pitch to Ishihara is just outside. Yuichi Ishihara can hit. He has contact for days. Here's the 1-0, and it's in there for a strike. That might have fooled Ishihara a little bit on the breaking ball. Yeah, that breaking ball was coming in at 72. We had it. 2-2. Fastball hit on the ground. This could get the Majors out of the inning. Flip to second to get J.J. Dutton. So Keith Candell works out of it. Eats through 2/3 of an inning for the London Majors in the 5th. It's 11-2 Maple Leafs. They'd love for Keith Candell to go as long as he can before the Maple Leafs get to him. Julian Tomochko into the game for the Toronto Maple Leafs. He takes over in the 6th inning. First pitch is a swing and a miss. Tommy Reyes-Cruz, the shortstop, is at the plate. Reyes-Cruz hits one to center field on a line, and it's caught by Ryan Dos Santos.
And making quick work right there. The line out by Julian Tomochko.
Yuichi Ishihara stays into the game. He's going to play shortstop. Ishihara still leads the Toronto Maple Leafs in batting average this season. And he showed that he has some versatility as well. He'll play the outfield sometimes.
He'll pitch.
He'll pitch. This one's hit pretty well by Cleveland Brownlee. Long run, and the catch is made on a dive.
No drops.
Oh, no, it does fall. It was in the glove for a good amount of time, but never got the transfer off. Good effort from Fox Pappas out there.
And it looks like when he initially just like stabbed out for the ball, that the ball was just kind of loose in his glove. Once he hit the ground, it popped out.
Yeah, Robin Fox Pappas doesn't play in the outfield a ton from what I can remember, but he really had a pretty good effort on that one. Pretty good line to the ball as well. So Julian Tomochko comes to this outing with an ERA of 15.75, but has 2 scoreless outings in his last 2 appearances. Each have been 1 inning. He had a scoreless outing against the London Majors where all he did was walk a batter. Got a strikeout, didn't give up a hit. And then exact same line score against the Kitchener Panthers just 3 days prior. 0-2 is high.
And with Tomochko on the mound, there's also movement happening down there in the Maple Leafs bullpen, and that's looking like it's going to be Zach Sloan, who's getting set to warm up.
Big swing and a miss by McGee. Yeah, if the Maple Leafs could get Zach Sloan going, and if they could get Julian Tomochko going, these are guys who could help out in the playoffs. Especially Zach Sloan, with him being a lefty. So Tomochko gets a strikeout, and now Graham, the second baseman, is at the plate. Pitch is way outside. Julian Tomochko letting out an audible grunt on that pitch. Might have reached back for a little extra.
We can hear from up here.
Yeah. Count is 1-1 on Brett Graham. And another one that gets to the backstop, so Cleveland Brownlee will saunter into second and then saunter into third. And he has a word there with John Salazzo and a laugh as well. I can imagine that probably was a base running related conversation.
Yeah, Salazzo said definition of speed, and Brownlee said you know it.
Something like that, probably. I mean, if I had to guess.
It would probably, yeah.
If I had to guess.
What was your 60-yard time in high school?
I used to reference this all the time because it was something I was proud of, but I don't remember. What was yours?
I don't think I ever did the 60-yard. I know we did like the beep tests a lot in high school.
Oh, yeah, I think I got like level 10 or something.
Oh, I wish. I got like level 4.
Yeah. I used to run a bit, though. On the ground, sharply hit. Flip to second for one. Ishihara is right there to record the out. And that'll do it. Good inning for Julian Timochko. Throws a couple balls to the backstop, but gets out of it in the end. It's 11-2 Toronto Maple Leafs, and Julian Jr. Valdez gets a handshake from his manager, as that's going to be 3 outings in a row where Julian Jr. Valdez hasn't given up a run. Keith Candell takes the mound again for the London Majors. He got out of a jam last time against the Maple Leafs, but he's got a bit of a tougher test now, as he's going to have to face some power hitters. First one is Justin Mara, who takes low and away, and with Candell dropping down in the sidearm position for some of his breaking balls, this could be a good matchup here for Justin Mara. And he takes just low. So it's 2-0. If Justin Mara can find a pitch in his wheelhouse, he will take a cut, but he hasn't found a pitch in the strike zone yet, as it's 3-0. Quick pitch. Outside ball 4.
That caught me off guard.
A quick pitch from the windup. On 3-0.
I couldn't even set it for the radar gun.
You know what? Keith Candell, from what we've seen on the mound so far, he has been crafty. He's dropped down, switched arm angles a little bit. That's what you gotta do.
Hey, you gotta respect it.
Here's Jordan Castaldo. And there's a slow breaking ball, and it's a good one. Oh boy. Catches the inside corner. We had that at 62. I felt like it might have been faster, but it had a lot of movement. That one's in the dirt. One. This one's hammered to left field, but it's foul. It actually It was a little bit deceiving off the bat as it went off the end. So 1-2 now on Jordan Castaldo. And it's just outside, 2-2. Tough assignment for Candell, facing a string of lefties, but well, these actually have to get one through one more batter. This one's hammered on a line and caught out there. It's Judd Walker who came in the third inning.
And look at that. You see two icons down there. Bobby and Al, and then
There's another icon.
there's an
there,
icon
too,
down.
for
I was gonna say there's two icons down there talking to an IBL legend. Is Bobby trying to buy him or bribe him? what's the scoop right there?
If I had to guess, I would say that's probably raffle ticket related.
Hi guys. How's Garrett Takamatsu doing?
John Salazzo already with a home run today. Takamatsu waits on deck.
I think Al's trying to sell Brownlee some tickets.
That's
what's happening.
Getting in the raffle.
I think so. Just let him know you can win this awesome Maple Leafs yearbook.
1-2 is outside. Nobody has really picked up on Keith Candell particularly well yet. He might have found a niche to try and get these Maple Leafs hitters out. 2-2, this one's on the ground, and that one's going to roll through. John Salazzo has himself a base hit. That'll bring Garrett Takamatsu to the plate. So John Salazzo has 3 hits today. 3 for 5. Garrett Takamatsu is 2 for 3. He was hit by a pitch and also has a home run to dead center field.
And he doubled last time up as well, and I believe he just got hit by another one, so he's reached on base 4 times.
Garrett Takamatsu does have a tendency to get hit by those pitches. He stands a little closer to the plate than what we see from most batters. Robin Fox Pappas is going to get an at-bat here as he comes in as a pinch hitter. Came in defensively originally, now he's getting his first at-bat. Fox Pappas was close to making a spectacular diving catch last inning. He takes way inside.
That's the street right there. I know that.
2-0. Fox Pappas fists one towards first in foul territory, and it's just going to drop out of the reach of McGee. So Fox Pappas stays ahead in the count, 2-1. Grant Tamani is on deck. Fox Pappas check swing, and it hit him on the elbow, and that didn't feel good. Robin Fox Pappas immediately feeling the effects of that one. He's going to head down to first base, and that's going to...
I'm not sure if that was wrist or if that was elbow. I caught him on that right arm.
Yeah, forces in a run for the Maple Leafs, so now it's 12-2. Not really what you envision when you come in to pinch hit. So, with that, the Toronto Maple Leafs have tied with 11, but now surpassed their most runs they've had against the London Majors this year. And they've done really well against London. If they win this game, they'll be 5-1, which in the long run would be the initial tiebreaker that they've already locked up. Maple Leafs will have more head-to-head matchups that could make things interesting later on. The Guelph Royals, who they're tied in the season series with 2-2. They're going to play them in their last 2 games of the regular season, barring any rainouts. Grant Tamani pops this one up, fouled near the first base side, and it's out of play. They're 3-2 against the Hamilton Cardinals, which right now would be the first round matchup, but it could be a matter of who's going to get home field advantage. And if the Maple Leafs were to go on a bit of a run and catch the Kitchener Panthers, which is possible, they're 4.5 games back but have 3 games in hand. This one's high to Grant Tamani. Hard fastball there from Kendall. Then they would have the tiebreaker on the Kitchener Panthers. The Maple Leafs have won all 4 times they've played Kitchener.
Again, they've played really, really well here at home. But that road record, that's something they've been struggling with. A couple of these games that have been close that they've dropped away from home.
Full count. Tamani fouls it off. Oh, so some interesting action around the league right now. The Brantford Red Sox were at one time losing to the Barrie Baycats 6-3. It's now 14-6 Brantford. The Barrie Baycats have won 5 games in a row, and that could be in jeopardy right now. Fouled off again. The Brantford Red Sox and Barrie Baycats have played some interesting games this season. They had a game where Brantford was up by 7 or 8 runs. It was 7-1 at one time, 7-3 at one time, or something like that. And they ended up losing on a walk-off in extra innings. High chopper by Grant Tamani, and it's in foul territory. And it'll stay there, so the battle continues. Heath Candell and Grant Tamani in a long at-bat. This will be pitch number 8 of the at-bat from Candell. And it's high, ball 4. Grant Tamani wins the battle, and that'll force in another run. 13-2. Ryan Dos Santos comes to the plate. He is going to get his 5th at-bat today. We're still just in the bottom of the 6th. Breaking ball from Candell slipped out of the hand. It was well high.
Hey, you want to talk about everything going right for the Maple Leafs today? Well, it has that and some more. The pitching, spectacular from Julian Valdez and Julian Timochko, the Julian duo over there in the pen. And then the bats just came alive, and this is what, you know, every Maple Leafs fan has been waiting for.
This one's hit sky high. This could be tough. There's wind, but the catch is made in center field by Austin Wilkie for the 2nd out. I think Ryan Dos Santos might have a better time against good pitchers on the mound than against position players. Ryan Dos Santos struck out in his first at-bat against Candell. Now he pops out. But before that, he was rolling at the plate. So bases are loaded. J.J. Dutton at the dish, and he swings and misses. Richie Ishihara is on deck with the classic two-bat swings.
Power guy over there on deck.
He's thinking yard this next at-bat.
I don't blame him. Joining on the club.
Why not? J.J. Dutton singled last time up, and he takes low. Bouncing ball to second. Taking it himself is Brett Graham, so the Maple Leafs tack on a couple more via the walk. It's 13-2. Zach Sloan is into the game for the Toronto Maple Leafs. He'll be the third pitcher that London will see today.
The first non-Julian pitcher.
Thanks, Zach.
Of course. Yeah, Zach Sloan on the mound. Great first name.
That kind of worked out, didn't it? He's CH, though, I think.
That's okay. Still a cool name.
I'll get us some food, yeah.
Breaking ball from Sloan finds the strike zone.
Oh, by the way,
Zach Sloan's career in the Intercounty Baseball League has been played with the Maple Leafs since 2017. High chopper to third. Easy play for John Salazzo as he whips it to first to get the out. London Majors are gonna pinch hitter here, and it's not particularly convenient for Josh Williams, as he's going to have to come in and face the lefty on the mound. And first pitch, he swings and fouls it off. Williams lines one to left, but it's just foul. And this one's bouncing up the middle. Backhanded play, throw to first in time. Oh boy, what a play by Grant Tamane. The no-look throw to first to get the out.
And we've seen some spectacular defensive plays all game long, and Grant Tamane just put his stamp on it right there. Phenomenal play.
Starlin Joseph at the plate. He fouls the first one off. Zach Sloan has had some really good years with the Toronto Maple Leafs, as that one swung on and missed. Obviously, the ERA is a little bit elevated this year, but last season for the Maple Leafs started quite a few games. Started 10 games, had an ERA of 4.80. Lots of strikeouts, not too many walks. Pitches upstairs to Joseph. In just his second year in the IBL, had an ERA of 4.01. Started 11 games that year. Zach Sloan has some serious potential to help the Maple Leafs out come playoff time. Three-two in the dirt, ball four. Eduardo Duolio will come to the plate with a runner on.
And just continue to have a good day as Starling Joseph. Third time he's reached base. Third time he's reached via either a hit by pitch or a walk.
First pitch to him is upstairs, ball one. On the ground, that one's foul past John Salazzo down the first baseline. Pitches in the dirt.
What's it look like, boy? You look like you? It's not nice.
Duolio pops one high in the air. Robin Fox Pappas coming in. He makes the catch, and that'll do it. A good inning from Zach Sloan. He holds the London Majors at bay in the top of the seventh. It's 13-3, Toronto Maple Leafs. First pitch is up high to Yuichi Ishihara. Keith Candell on the mound, and he throws a breaking ball, and Ishihara way out in front of it. Ishihara takes way inside. That's ball 4. So Justin Mara will come to the plate. Keith Candell still on the mound. Keith Candell can continue to eat innings here for the London Majors. That's going to help the bullpen down the stretch. Remember, the Toronto Maple Leafs are not the only team that has a lot of games to play in August. The London Majors have just as many. And Keith Candell might be getting tired on the mound now. He's starting to change up the delivery a little bit. Justin Mara just missed it. He popped it up. Is this one going to be playable? Not quite. One, two. Mara out in front, and he hits it on the ground. Throw to first, not in time, and it squirts away, so Yuichi Ishihara will move up 90 feet. Justin Mara will likely be credited with an infield single.
Good hustle out of the box right there by Justin Mara to get to first. And heads up base running right there by Yuichi Ishihara.
So Skylar Janice is already out of this game, but he was getting into it with the first place umpire between innings, so he's been ejected from the game. Won't have much consequence though for the London Majors, with his start already having been completed. Skylar Janice put together one of the worst outings that he's had this year. Maple Leafs up 13-2. Keith Candell eating innings for the London Majors on the mound, and he's done a pretty good job thus far.
Yeah, really just done a good job for the Majors right here. Giving them some solid innings that they don't really have with their bullpen situation currently.
Pitch inside. It might have gone between the legs of Jordan Castaldo. He'll hang in there. It's 3-1. Jordan Castaldo is 2 for 3, and he's walked twice today. Castaldo hits it in the air pretty well, but it looks like it's going to stay in play. And the catch is made by Austin Wilkie. Tagging and scoring is Yuichi Ishihara. So the Maple Leafs lead 14-2.
Good piece of hitting right there by Jordan Castaldo, just taking the ball the other way. And that generates him for his 3rd RBI of the day.
Jordan Castaldo with the 2 walks today extends his IBL lead in walks. So he has 35 on the year. And the guy who's in 2nd in the Intercounty Baseball League in base on balls is John Salazzo. He had 30 coming into this game. First pitch from Candell, just a little sidearm lob, but it misses outside. 1-0 in the dirt. Keith Candell has gone through phases of going through a proper pitching windup to throwing what looks like kind of like a sidearm batting practice throw. But the sidearm throw is coming in with some heat. 3-0 pitch. Salazzo tees off. Is it going to stay fair? And it is foul. John Salazzo has a home run today, but he has hit some bombs that were just foul.
And I think the scary thing is how many bombs he has hit foul. Yeah. And I mean, it's been a solid 4, maybe 5.
3-1. Just missed high. John Salazzo takes ball 4.
I think that was the ephus.
Yeah.
Right there. That was the ephus. Hold on.
Look, I mean, Keith Candell he's having some fun out there, but it's kind of working. 39, is that what you had that as?
The good old ephus strikes again.
Rup Janderdat is out to the mound. He's having a word here with Keith Candell. I think he might stay in the game. He might just be going to him and saying, "You still good to keep throwing?" And no. So this is interesting. Keith Candell is not walking towards the dugout. He's going to go play second base. And who on the infield is coming in to pitch right now?
Whoever just unraveled the tape they had in their arm.
So second base, if he's going to replace second, Brett Graham was at second. Yeah, so it's Brett Graham. So Keith Candell will go replace him at second base. Brett Graham is going to come straight from second base to come in to pitch, and he'll need some time to warm up, so we'll take a quick break. So Keith Candell to second base, Brett Graham to the mound, and his first pitch is inside. We scoured the internet and we couldn't find any pitching experience for Brett Graham. So we assume that this is the first time that he's trying his hand at pitching in the Intercounty Baseball League, at least in the Intercounty Baseball League. Not sure if there's experience beyond that. 2-0, way inside.
And Takamatsu's had a good day so far at the plate. Hit by his pitch the last time up, doubled, homered, and he walked his first plate appearance.
And he's going to walk again. And to give some credit as well on the mound to Brett Graham, that was a 4-pitch walk. He didn't warm up in the bullpen, and especially being someone who's not a pitcher, coming straight in from second base to the mound is a pretty tall task. The London Majors are going to try and finish the second half of this game with just position players. 0-1 is upstairs. Robin Fox Pappas at the plate. Yeah. Meanwhile, the Maple Leafs have their flamethrower, Evan Elliott, going in the bullpen. This is a pitching matchup right here. Brett Graham versus the former Texas Ranger farm fan, Evan Elliott. Fox Pappas takes a strike. It's 2-2.
I'm really focusing on the radar gun right now.
Strike 3 called, so that's the first IBL strikeout for Brett Graham.
Put that ball in the dugout, young man.
Yeah, he's going to save the ball.
That's awesome. That's going on the shelf at home.
Yeah, he had a huge smile on his face after he got that. Painted it over the outside corner as well.
Your first strikeout in the IBL is a strikeout looking.
Grant Tamane at the plate. And he gets hit with the pitch. So that's going to force in a run. It's 15-2. So Ryan Dos Santos will come to the plate. Bases loaded, 2 outs. First pitch in there for a strike.
Windy afternoon at Christie Pitch with Dominico.
This one's hit on the ground to third and snared by Dan Battelle. So Graham will get out of it, doesn't surrender any of his own runs. Just the one charged to Keith Candell, and he does a pretty good job for his first time on the mound. How about your first IBL strikeout? So Evan Elliott's coming into the game for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Evan Elliott has been a little bit wild lately for Toronto, so a good chance for him in a low-stakes situation to get back in the strike zone, and he's had a really good year overall for the Maple Leafs. That pitch is to the backstop, 2-0. Starting to rain just a little bit here in Toronto.
Light rain is expected to stop in the next 52 minutes. It's a little drizzle.
Thrilling.
If you heard the voice, that was the one and only Gus Cousins beside me.
Evan Elliott concedes a walk.
Now batting second baseman, number 12, Keith Campbell.
We're doing it after this happens.
So Keith Candell was on the mound. Then he was switched to second base, and he takes a pitch in the dirt, goes to the backstop, so an extra 90 feet at first base for Tommy Reyes-Cruz. Evan Elliott throws extremely hard. It's just been about locating in the strike zone for him this season. When he locates, he does well.
Just like that.
Had that one at 92 there from Evan Elliott. Another fastball in there for a strike. 2-2.
From the eye test, that one looked like 92 as well.
And that one's in the dirt, full count. Keith Candell hasn't budged from the batter's box yet. And that one's inside, ball 4. Evan Elliott, back-to-back walks to start the inning. Rob Butler is out to the mound to have a word with his pitcher.
And now Dan Battle, he's out there warming up in the London Majors bullpen. You better get ready because he's in the hole.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so Dan Patel, we assume, is going to be the next position player to come in for London Majors. I don't think that they, unless this game were to get close, I don't think they have any intention of pitching any pitchers to finish off this ball game.
It's the finish the game by committee.
So here's the first baseman, McGee. First pitch was low, ball 1. Here's the 2-0. Evan Elliott went with the breaking ball that time. Three and 0. Fastball finds the strike zone. 3-1 way outside, and Evan Elliott frustrated on the mound after delivering that pitch. The bases are loaded with nobody out for London. Now, Evan Elliott has a massive cushion to work with here. In fact, a 13-run cushion. But just on a personal level, I'm sure he would like to limit the damage as much as possible. This has been a bit of a common theme that we've seen from Evan Elliott. We know he has the ability to be one of the best relief pitchers in the IBL. In fact, he has the position of the closer, or at least he had it until Dustin Richardson came along, but They've been kind of swapping duties. And did that one hit him?
I believe it did.
So Evan Elliott forces in a run with another walk. That's his 4th walk of the inning. I think it goes without saying that after the Maple Leafs added Evan Elliott, and he was so good for them in his first 5 or 6 outings, he's just had the couple rough ones lately. He is essential to this Maple Leafs bullpen down the stretch.
And we know he has the stuff. He has a really good fastball and then that breaker that snaps off really nice. It's just more so with the control, it just seems, with Evan Elliott.
1-0 in the dirt, 2-0.
If he can figure out the control.
Outside, ball 3. Evan Elliott in trouble of working in another run. And look, this wouldn't be the first time that we've seen a pitcher with control issues become one of the best pitchers in the Maple Leafs bullpen. So that one's in there for a strike. The guy that comes to mind, well, Hennis Alvarado. In his very first outing, had a ton of control issues, and now leads the IBL in ERA. This one's fouled straight back, and Evan Elliott has battled back. It's 3-2.
And Will Hennis Alvarado right there on the dugout, the close door. He's acted as the bat boy today. But you're not wrong whatsoever, really. Evan Elliott, we know he has the stuff. It just seems today, every pitch he's throwing, he's leaving everything on the arm side. He's not finishing his pitches off. He's just staying open for too long, and that's just kind of caused these walks to happen.
And he surrenders another one here, so that's going to be it for his day. Unable to get the out. Surrenders 5 walks and a couple runs in, so Adam Mara coming into the game. Adam Mara into the game. He inherits the bases loaded with nobody out. 2 in already in the inning for the London Majors. First pitch is a swing and a miss.
And he said it best. Comes into a difficult situation, and all he's looking for, just get a couple ground balls, trade some outs for runs here.
Soft contact, and it's dished into the outfield. A run comes into the score. The London Majors go station to station. Austin Wilkie had to reach a mile off the plate, but he somehow managed to dump that one into the outfield.
And again, really the only concern you have for the Maple Leafs at this moment is just Evan Elliott. You know, one guy that you're going to heavily rely on come playoff time has just kind of lost his way a little bit, lost kind of his control.
If I had to guess, I would think that he's going to be able to battle through it. Slow breaking ball from Mara, swung on and missed. He's too good, like resume-wise, to have this kind of issue. I mean, I know that, command isn't the thing that he's known best for. As this one's lined to the outfield, another base hit. All of these runs charged to Evan Elliott are going to come in to score. So now the bases are loaded again. The last remaining run that Evan Elliott is on the hook for is at third base. So, I mean, it's something that he has to work through, but the good sign for the Toronto Maple Leafs is that he had a game with not very high stakes to have a chance to get a read on where things are at.
Yeah, and it could have been a lot worse. Obviously, still to Elliott, it's not ideal what happened.
Lined into the outfield, another run's going to come in to score. It's all the way to the wall. This is going to make things a little bit more interesting for London, and they're going to send the runner home. The throw, and it goes to the backstop. Starling Joseph will cruise into third base. That would have been an out at home plate. And now, all of a sudden, in a game which the London Majors have been pitching position players for the last 3 innings, the Maple Leafs have surrendered a big spot, and it's 15-9. In a game that was 15-2, it's now a 6-run ball game.
And again, just a little tough breaks. The hottest hitter today for the London Majors comes up and he delivers in the moment, clearing the bases. Starling Joseph. But one final point really on just, Evan Elliott and all that. He has the guys around him to help him get through it. We see Sam Green. He's done a good job at really constructing this pitching staff. Will Hennis Alvarado, he was dealing with something similar earlier on in the year. He's changed it around.
Dolio, a little flare into center field. Dos Santos comes in and makes the catch. Here's the throw to the plate. It's on line, but it's late, and the run will come in to score. 15-10.
And they've batted around.
And there's still just the one out. The Maple Leafs have Chris Nagorski getting loose in the bullpen. Chris Nagorski is a guy that's been pretty good for the Maple Leafs out of the pen, but the Leafs were hoping not to have had to use so many of their pitchers in this ball game. Both teams into double digits now. This one's hit to left, and the catch is made for the second out by J.J. Dutton.
And just got to remember as well, a lot of the original starters for the Maple Leafs are no longer in the game. Jose Vinicio was subbed out earlier on. Dan Mara's no longer in. Connor Lewis is out as well.
Yeah, and that could play a factor for the Toronto Maple Leafs, but the Leafs bench it's kind of hard to tell who is a bench player for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Little flare by Keith Candell, and it's caught. What a catch there by Robin Fox Pappas, who was playing extremely shallow and came in and make the catch. So the London Majors put up an 8 spot, and it's 15-10. So it's 15-10 now. And the London Majors, despite putting up 8 runs, are going to stick with the position player on the mound. Brett Graham is going to stay out there. At this point, I'm actually not sure if there is any pitchers available for the London Majors today. Like, we look into that bullpen as this one's hammered by J.J. Dutton. High and deep and gone! J.J. Dutton with the home run.
And after an 8-run inning from the Majors, that's how you want to respond if you're a Maple Leaf. J.J. Dutton gets them back on the board.
And that is the first IBL home run for J.J. Dutton.
Somebody go get it, that young man that baseball.
Well, it's right in his clubhouse. If the door was open, it probably would have gone right in, sitting right in front of his locker.
His roll.
And they give him the silent treatment in the dugout. That's awesome.
I don't know if you remember that that old Chef Boyardee commercial where the can follows you and it rolls right to where you are. That was the baseball, just rolls right in front of Dutton's locker.
Yoichi Ishihara doesn't have an IBL home run either.
Tied most runs scored in any game this season.
So that's 16 runs for Toronto now. That's the best that they've done in the run department this year.
And it looks like Will Hennis Alvarado is now the ball boy. This guy plays a lot of roles on this team.
Safe to say he's unavailable.
What gave it away?
So Ishihara's at first base, he walks. Now Mara at the plate. Check swing, but it was a called strike anyway.
I think my favorite part of it is he has his own bucket just right at the door.
Salazzo's got his bucket too. He's always sitting on a bucket out there. This one's skied deep center field. Does it have enough? Not quite. Back against the wall, and look at Ishihara. He advances an extra 90 feet as he tagged on that ball to center field. With the wind blowing out there, that was a hard read by Yoichi Ishihara to know that ball was going to get hot, or that was going to get caught.
Yeah, and just heads up base running right there, using his speed. He tagged up almost immediately, and he saw the center fielder taking his time, so he just took off. Right play right there.
Jordan Castaldo lines one to center field. Yoichi Ishihara had to hold up initially, but he's going to come home anyway. And now it's 17-10. So the Maple Leafs eliminate pretty much any doubt that may have been had after the London Majors came back with their big inning.
And that's the 4th RBI on the day for Jordan Castaldo. And a big RBI because with 17 runs, Toronto now sets a record for the most runs scored in any game this season.
Yeah, last year, the year before that, they had 20. And, or no, the year in 2021, their highest was 19 in a game. Do you think they won or lost that game?
What?
No, they lost 20 to 19.
Oh.
They were, I think, I forget what it was, but it was like, oh, John Salazzo, see you later. That one was about 40 feet up the light post. John Salazzo is hitting BP right now at Dominico Field.
He just smoked a light post. That's amazing. Oh my Lord, John Salazzo. Have yourself a day.
John Salazzo is one back of the IBL lead in home runs. And is the Triple Crown conversation back on for John Salazzo?
Hey, so remember when the 2021 Leafs scored 19? Hey, they just did it again.
Pitch up high. Takamatsu takes upstairs is 3-0.
My scorebook has a lot of coloring done in it.
Salazzo hits the home run, and then immediately after, Garrett Takamatsu takes the walk. So here's Robin Fox Pappas.
Fourth time on the day that Garrett Takamatsu will reach via walk.
So John Salazzo is going to need Matthew Fabian to slow down a little bit, and Gus Wilson to slow down a little bit in the average department. Home runs, he's right there, and RBIs, he's about 13 RBIs back now, I think, of first place. So still a ways to go, but at the beginning of the season, he was right up there with the leaders and then had a slump in the middle, but John Salazzo is right back in full form. Here's Robin Fox Pappas. He fouls it off. The Kitchener Panthers have just beat the Welland Jackfish, so now Welland has lost 2 games in a row atop the IBL. But the problem is that the Barrie Baycats are still losing, as here's a high chopper off the mound. Robin Fox Pappas gets himself a base hit. The Barrie Baycats have some work to do in the 9th. They're down 14-8, and that loss by the Welland Jackfish would have opened the door for the Barrie Baycats to try and sneak into first place, but looks like they're going to fall as well. On the ground, that one sneaks through, a base hit for Grant Tamane. And the bases are loaded with 1 out for the Maple Leafs, and they could really open things up. I now am wondering how high our scoreboard goes. I don't know if it goes past 20. I think it goes to 99. I'm hoping I didn't set the max for 20. Goes to 99. Okay, that's good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gus Cousins.
I remember that being a setting with the scorebook at the beginning of the year, and it was like automatically set to 8, and I was like, yeah, that's probably not going to be enough.
And you said it to 20, saying they're not going to get to 20.
No, I didn't. Probably 99. This one's lined into the outfield. It will be 20 and maybe more. Dos Santos is going to stay at first, and now Robin Fox Pappas will decide that he's going to indeed go home. On a ball to the wall by Ryan Dos Santos. That may be the longest single that he's ever hit.
And you can kind of see over there at third base, Rob Butler holding up the hey, stop sign.
Yeah, but it was just Robin Fox Pappas was standing there for an awkward amount of time before anyone fielded that ball in the outfield. And we're going to have another position player coming into pitch. Dan Battelle was warming up in the bullpen, so I think he's going to get suited up. And we'll scour the internet for pitching experience, and we'll have that for you when we come back. So Dan Battelle is going to come into the game.
And you've been scouring the online world. Have you been able to find any pitching experience?
No, I actually spent my time trying to see what the single game run record was for the Maple Leafs. Dan Battelle doesn't have any recorded pitching experience, but how about a strikeout? In his first batter faced, Dan Battelle. Is he going to keep the baseball? No, he said he's just going to keep pitching. Yuichi Ishihara comes to the plate. The Maple Leafs have 21. Oh, pickoff throw to first. Oh my goodness. What is going on?
We've seen a little bit of everything in this game.
Kane McGee didn't know the ball was coming down to first base. They had the runner. No one knew he threw it. And it just happened to hit him. But there was no time to apply the tag. What is going on?
It has been a long day of baseball today.
Why is there a pickup throw to first? Okay. 2-2 to Ishihara. Little stutter step, fly drive. Oh, it's dropped. Throw to first to get the out. Oh. 21-10 Maple Leafs. See you in a bit. Dan Mara, or Adam Mara on the mound. It's 21-10. Toronto Maple Leafs, top of the ninth, just trying to close things out here. Pitch is up and away. 3-1. Kane McGee at the plate. Mara's pitch is hit on the ground. Ichihara has it. Whips to first to get the out. Crisp throw there by Uchi Ishihara. So while we were scouring the internet looking for pitching experience, we found Dan Battelle and his third star of the week in 2021 in the OUA season. Dan Battelle got that playing for the Western Mustangs. That honor coming via Canadian Baseball Guru on Instagram. He's on Twitter too. If you like OUA baseball, Canadian Baseball Guru is the place to go. Western Mustangs, obviously coming from London, so the London Majors will get a bunch of their players coming out of the university. Dan Battelle at the plate now.
He does everything for the team.
Somewhere the DH got lost. I don't remember where.
I think it was the pitcher before Battelle.
On the ground. To first, and it's dropped. Trying to pick it was Garrett Takamatsu, as that was a low throw from Jose Vinicio. The London Majors on the mound has been one pitcher, one two-way player, and three position players. On the ground again, and the play is made at second base. Grant Tamani coming over to his right. So that'll do it. The Toronto Maple Leafs put up a season high 21 runs against the London Majors as they went at 21-10. They had 22 hits in the process as well, and a good sign for the offense, but they had a chance to tee off today.
Yeah, the offense, really, this was just what we wanted to see from them. Come back, finally, hit some home runs, get some power, and that's what was on display today. The offense came alive, and it was a really good pitch performance from Julian Jr. Valdez. He had a solid day on the mound, and he will get the win.
Thanks for watching. Have a great day.